Hey everybody, it's Pat. I'm in the pod again. It's a Saturday afternoon. Was at work, supposed to get off work later today, but we ran out of work, so they sent us home early. Yay! For all of you that follow me on YouTube, you probably don't know this, but the other day I went all silver with my hair. So this is me with silver hair now. Don't know what you think, what you don't think, but I wanted something different, so I just went all silver. Or gray, whatever you want to call it. That's what I did. And it took a long time to get my dark hair to lighten up enough to go all gray. It was a long time in a chair. It was 5 hours in a beauty chair. Yay team. But that's what I did for me for Christmas. So happy Christmas to me. Yay. Not much going on in my world. I got an email today from a lady out in Brookings, Oregon. They want to do an interview with me. So over Christmas break, I'm going to drive out there for a few days and do an interview. So maybe after the first of the year, I can be working in Brookings and staying there. But we will see. There's nothing set in stone. I would like to hope it's going to happen, but you know how that goes, people. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. But that's really all that's going on. Other than that, earlier, if you follow me on Facebook, you've probably just seen this post. I was browsing through my laptop and found some old photos of the house I used to own back in Wichita. So I posted those on Facebook just for fun. And it's hard to believe that I've been living in a vehicle of some kind, regardless if it was the Class B camper van, the conversion van I did, or the pod, or the original teardrop that I was originally planning on doing all that with, but it had some issues, so I got rid of it. But that's here nor there. But I found those pictures, and it's like I said, it's hard to believe it's been almost 5 years since I had a house, and I've been living in a vehicle of some kind for that long. Almost 5 years. Crazy to think about it. But yeah, and honestly, I like that decision. I won't lie to you. There's some days that a house sounds nice and would be fun. As you know, I was trying to do that just not too long ago here in Washington. Didn't work out. Maybe for the better. Never know. But there's days I miss a house, and it's for the silliest things, just kitchen. Take a long hot bath. Silly stuff. To me, silly. To other people, it might be 100% a real thing. But I'm here, and this is what I'm doing, and I've met a lot of great people along my little adventures. Had people that helped me out that I didn't realize they would or not, which is kind of cool. And yeah, this is fun. I was doing bills the other day, and I realized that I've got probably 3 more years of payments on the FJ and the pod. Yes, I had to finance them. I didn't have that kind of cash laying around. Wish I did at the time, but I didn't. So I've got roughly 3 more years of car payments. When I bought my FJ and my pod, I had them roll the loans together, so I only had one payment, which was just a convenience thing for me. Instead of me making a payment to 2 different people, I just make a payment to one person or one bank, which worked out really great. Don't regret it. Don't get me wrong, it made that one payment seem really, really high. So that every month is always kind of a downer, but if you realize it's for two different things, it's no big deal. And yeah, haven't really looked real hard for another trailer. I know I said I was going to. I did look for a little while. I like the casitas. I like the scamps. To be honest, I think I like the casitas just a little bit better. I looked at some other trailers that were conventional built, not the fiberglass, that were just little 16-footers from like Coachman, and I found this one online here in the Tacoma area. It was a little retro thing. I didn't physically go look at it, but I looked at all the pictures the people posted. They were wanting $9,600 for it, and it was only about a year old, if that. I kind of liked that really well, but I'm having a hard time parting with the pod. I know it sounds strange, and I know I need to have a vehicle that is considered self-contained to be in a lot of different places. But I've been in the pod for 3 years, or close to it. I think this May will actually be 3 years. And it's home. I don't know if you guys understand that, if you've been in... Those that are living in RVs right now, you probably understand. Or even if you're living in a boat, you probably understand that it's home. It's not just a vehicle. It's just not something that's parked out in the yard and you get to use it for 2 weekends out of the year. It's home. It's kind of a tough deal when you're thinking about it. I mean, it's exciting to think about, oh, I'm getting something nicer or newer or even older if it's retro and you want a project and all that stuff. All that's great and wonderful, and I've kind of done all that at one point or another. But for some reason, this crazy little pod is home. And this is what I like at the moment. There are days I'm frustrated with it. And those days are usually when it's raining real hard because you open your back door to get in. By the time you get in, get your shoes off before you get everything all gooey and muddy. You know, the edge of your mattress might get a little wet or your door might get a little wet. But man, it's home. I got some questions the other day on one of the videos I think I posted. Someone asked what I do for bathrooms and showering and all that stuff. So I will address that here. And you should find it online at 1,000 different places. But I think I've even addressed it before in the past. But honestly, when I lived in Wichita full-time in my pod, I never stayed in an RV park in the pod. When I had the Class B motorhome, I stayed in an RV park probably for 5 or 6 months. And I would use their bathhouse, their restrooms, instead of filling up the gray tank and the stuff like that in the camper van. I had a bathroom and all that in the camper van, or the Class B, but that's what I did there, and a lot of people do it. And I know a lot of people say, well, if you have a facility in your vehicle, why do you use their facility? It just keeps you from having to dump tanks. Because a black tank, you don't want to hook up your hose and leave it open all the time. You want to close your black tank and let it fill up, then let it out. And in my camper van, I didn't even have a black tank. I had a gray tank, but I had a cassette toilet, which was 5 gallons. So, which isn't a whole lot once you think about it. And if you use that all the time, you'd be dumping it probably every other day with one person. Now, if you had more than one person living in it full time, you'd probably be dumping it every day. So you see where I'm going there. Now that then when I was in the camper van and the pod, what I do for bathrooms? Well, when I was still living full time in Wichita, I belonged to a gym, so I originally belonged to the gym so I could use the swimming pool. But then after I got rid of the camper van and all that and was living in the pod, I would use their showers. I'd go there in the morning and shower, get cleaned up, go to work, all that stuff. And as far as where do I use the restroom? Well, if I happened to be at the gym, I'd use their facility. If I was at work, I'd use their facility. If I was where I was parked at for the night, which was usually either a Sam's Club or a Walmart, if I had to get up and go to the bathroom, Walmart's open 24 hours. That particular one was. I'd get up, walk inside, use their bathroom, and they didn't seem to care because I was one of the people that would always park out by the semi-trucks. I even ran a generator when I was there when it got really, really cold or really, really hot. And like I said, I know a lot of people will cringe at that, but the fact of the matter is, I always parked by semi-trucks, and you couldn't even hear my generator over the semi-trucks. So I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and no one ever complained. None of the stores complained. And I'm going to touch on something in a minute about staying at a store overnight. Regardless if it's just a night or 2 nights, you need to think about a few things. But I'll get back on that in a minute. Now, as far as the bathrooms, that's what I did. And it worked for me. I know a lot of people are thinking, God, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of this. That's a lot of that. And I go, if you don't want to have to do that, spend the money to get a bigger vehicle that has a facility in it. End of story. The pod has no maintenance. It has electrical maintenance if something should go out. That's it. The Class B camper van had electrical maintenance. No big deal, because I could do all that myself. It had water maintenance. I could do probably 95% of that by myself. It had a hot water tank, and that's all stuff that's great and wonderful when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's a pain in the butt, I think. But I did it, had fun, and that's where I am on that. Now let me go back to touch on this staying at a Walmart or a Sam's Club or Cabela's or anywhere else, okay? If you're going to do it, be extremely courteous about it. Park as far away from the building as possible. If you're going to run your generator, start it really late at night. When I say late at night, I mean 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Park by the semi-trucks. And is why I say, I know a lot of people are going to gripe and say, oh, the semi-trucks make way too much noise. Honestly, I found I like the noise from the trucks. And it actually helped me sleep because I like the kind of the white noise background anyway. And it helped me sleep. I stayed at a lot of truck stops. I always parked by the semi-trucks if I could. And always slept really well. But I know a lot of people get annoyed just with their fan in their own vehicle going, oh God, it's so bad, it's so horrible. And it's like, really? If that much is going to annoy you, please don't do this lifestyle. Sorry, going off on you, but when I was staying at the Walmarts and the Sam's Clubs, I would try to show up at the very earliest, and I mean the very earliest, 8:30 at night. I would rather get there between 9 and 10, because that's about the time the semi-trucks start pulling in. And I would always get up at 6 a.m. and leave. In my case, I was in Wichita. I'd get up at 6 a.m., go over to the gym, get cleaned up and stuff, get ready to go to work. And so on and so forth. But just be courteous. No trash outside, no lawn chairs outside, nothing outside. You pull in to sleep and sleep only. Once you're there, if you can't sleep, turn on your TV or your radio or play on your phone, whatever, that's great. But it is not camping. It is not a place you set up all your crapola and think you're going to have a good time. That's how people ruin it for other people. So just keep that in mind. And what else? I am going to call this good for now, because now I'm getting into rants and tendencies and things I probably shouldn't be doing. I really wanted to show you guys my hair. So that's really why I made this video. And like I said, I just want to touch bases. I know videos aren't coming every week, but right now, every week, not a whole lot is happening since I'm stationary in one spot. And I'm not walking and doing pictures like I used to. And honestly, that's partially because right now it's kind of wet and icky here in Washington. And it's their version of winter. I mean, it still gets in like the 50s and 60s during the day. But it's just kind of damp enough that once I get off work, I don't feel like doing much, even though it's in the middle of the afternoon most days. I know it's crazy, but... And I'm still trying to recuperate sleep from having 2 jobs. There are some nights my body still tells me to go to sleep around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So some nights I do. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. So take care. Please subscribe. Please share. And be safe out there more than anything, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye.